Hello and welcome back to the We Are City channel for the final instalment of our FC24 Manchester City career mode. They're accepting a contract with Manchester City. Is our final season with our final manager. Roberto De Zerbi moves on. İlkay Gundogan joins as Manchester City manager. Now, if you want to see the full journey from İlkay Gundogan, from starting at Schalke to managing Schalke in the Bundesliga, to managing AS Monaco in Liga, and to managing Germany in the World Cup, then head over to the members section and you can join the members club and see İlkay Gundogan's full journey to becoming Manchester City manager. Of course, İlkay Gundogan is Manchester City manager and some things have changed. Well, transfers like Martin Zubimendi, who left the club to join Atletico Madrid, he left during Roberto De Zerbi's era. The same went for Jack Grealish, who went on to join and rejoin Aston Villa at 31 years of age. He left the club to rejoin them. We saw King Kevin De Bruyne leave the club. He joined the Saudi Pro League for Al Hilal, and Roberto De Zerbi brought in some sign as well as the thing as it happened. I mean, Zabayas left to Bayern Munich for 27 million, but we brought in Joao Pedro for 43.5. We brought in Federico Redondo for 40, and we brought in also Geronimo Rulli as a second choice keeper for 2.35 million. But like I said, you should head over to the members section to see the extended and all the action, the members only İlkay Gundogan career mode. Go and watch that. You guys can see it. Just join the We Are City Silver Club to see his journey all the way to Manchester City. And if you haven't seen the first episode, it's only like 4 minutes long. It's episode 0, we called it. That explains all that has happened in the 3 seasons or 2 seasons away from the club, building up to this moment here, which is the start of season 5. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it already and get yourself ready for this season. This is how the starting 11 is looking for İlkay Gundogan's side. 94 rated Edison in goal. We've got Yankuto, Goyi, Vardiol and Barco along that back 4. Redondo, captain Phil Foden and Rico Lewis in the midfield 3, with Musiala on the left, Jeremy Doku on the right, and Julian Alvarez through the middle. On the bench we've got Joao Pedro, Savio, Maximo Perron, Mateus Nunes, Baptiste, Doyle and Max Alain. On the reserves is Spike Brits, Geronimo Rulli, John Stones, Kyle Taylor. We've got Kane Taylor, Julian Dalla, Emilio Lawrence, Claudio Echeverri, Eze, Oscar Bob and Liam Delap. Now, Gundogan in his previous jobs have done a full revamp of the squad and tried to get it fit exactly what he wants. Now, this squad is actually more suited to him than the Monaco job was, than the of course, Schalke job was. But with signs over the Roberto De Zerbi era, we saw Roberto De Zerbi's side bring in Redondo, we saw them bring in Joao Pedro, we saw them bring in Geronimo Rulli. So players like that also use a lot of the youth players. We are looking to revamp the squad slightly in the mould of what İlkay Gundogan wants in this 4-3-3 that he plays. Which is a very, very expansive style of football, very aggressive, very intense in the midfield. I think Rico Lewis, who's a real fighter, played really good in that role, where we've seen, if you've watched the members series, Yusuf Fofana play there. We have seen Leon Goretzka or Frank in the Germany team play there. And we've also seen Galarrata play there, who was another real energetic player. Redondo in the holding role, more of a centre-back who's not as quick but can play the passes. And then we usually play a powerful player in Phil Foden. He's going to play there instead. Not so powerful, but very creative. I'm happy with the side, but there's certainly issues, changes, and lots we can do to this team. And we'll look at the squad report, and this is some issues with the side I need to mention straight away. Mainly this man, Joško Vardiol. So we have 4 players out of contract. 35-year-old Edison, which is fine till the end of the season. Joško Vardiol, 1 year left in his deal, but every time I try to get him on a new deal, the player isn't open to renew contract terms because he submitted a request to move away from the club. So during the Roberto De Zerbi era, Vardiol decided he wanted to leave, so we're going to have to let him go. With 1 year left in his contract as well, we need the money. John Stones, which is a big shame to leave Vardiol. John Stones, 35 years of age. I'm looking to renew the squad, so I'm looking to let him go. I think we'll keep Geronimo Rulli around as a 2nd or 3rd choice goalkeeper. And then the rest of them, I mean, some players that aren't good enough. Mark Goyi is definitely developed really well. Max Alain, I'm not entirely sure on him because Baptiste is so much higher rated. I don't know whether just send Max Alain out on loan, but he's going to be good when he's played for us in that De Zerbi series. And Dalla is good enough, but Kane Taylor certainly isn't. I'm happy to let him go. Spike Brits, I'm happy to let him leave on loan, maybe 24 or leave permanently. Oscar Bob at 25, only 79 rated. Unfortunately, he's not developed the way we want him to, so I'm happy to let him go. Claudio Echeverri will stay around. So will, Eze also might be going at 31. Redondo will stay. Foden will stay. Maximo Perron, the chancer, he will stay. The same for Callum Doyle. Mateus Nunes at 30. I'm not entirely set on him. Joao Pedro will stay. Emilio Lawrence will stay. Yankuto, of course. So will Barco, Lewis, Doku, Musiala, Savio, Baptiste, 25, 81 rated. He has really developed well on loan. But Lindelöf, I'm also perhaps willing to move on if we're getting a more superstar striker, perhaps. These locks that's going to happen in this final series, the final instalment of our career mode. Well, there is some transfer news in terms of the players İlkay Gündoğan is looking to bring in. He could target former stars from his Schalke and Monaco days for Manchester City. I mean, one of those is Yeremy Pino there, who was a star at AS Monaco for İlkay Gündoğan. This other Ogo, who moved from Schalke to Monaco with him. Ondreka, who was his first ever sign and left winger. These guys you might not know, but if you go over to the members club, you can watch that. You'll understand exactly what I'm on about. There's some certain stars there that we could retarget during İlkay Gündoğan's now Manchester City days. So transfer news for the club. This is how the squad is looking. Of course, we have Edison, a goalkeeper whose contract is expiring in 10 months. I am looking actually for a new goalkeeper to come into the club and be the backup for Edison, because I do believe he should be number one still at 35 years of age, 93 rated despite decreasing. We are also looking at a left-back to back up to Valentin Barco. The only natural left-back in the club is Valentin Barco. We've been playing Callum Doyle there, but I think an upgrade on Barco is certainly needed because we are struggling in that situation. We need someone to come in and back him up and be a decent fullback. So a goalkeeper, a left-back, two players certainly on İlkay Gündoğan's list. I'd like to look at perhaps a centre-back, with Max Elaine being like the sort of fourth choice, Callum Doyle at the club as well. Mark Goy and Doyle seem like the main partnership with Stones, and of course Vardiol looking like they're going to leave the club. Then you've got Goy and Doyle as the main partnership, and then Baptiste and Elaine as the backups. And I'm looking at that and thinking, you know what, maybe we need to make an improvement in the centre-back situations. Maybe we need an upgrade on Doyle or Goy. Right-back's an issue as well, with Jan Kuto, the only sort of official right-back at the club. Roberto De Zerbi played Mateusz Nunes at right-back, but I'm going to play him as a midfielder. I think that is more of his natural position. And we are going to look towards bringing in someone at right-back to be the backup to Jan Kuto, to push Jan Kuto. I mean, Jan Kuto, 86 rated, no problems there. In the midfield, it looks like Eze will be moved on. I think İlkay Gündoğan has decided that Eze is the man to be sacrificed in the midfield, as he looks to sort of rejuvenate the midfield with younger players. Eze, 31 years of age now. Mateusz Nunes isn't very young either. And İlkay Gündoğan is looking to bring in perhaps one of his former players in Hasan Odorogo. He's looking to bring in as well a younger midfielder in that area to maybe back up Federico Redondo. So that is something I'm looking for. I think Maximo Pirone, only 81 rated, hasn't quite developed the way we want him to in midfield. So midfield being revamping, being made to be younger. That is one thing about the midfield that we're looking to do. Make the midfield younger if we can do. And from there see what situation we can put the side in, really. That is the idea anyway. And also in terms of the striker situation, Julian Alvarez apparently is sort of in that decision where he thinks he's achieved everything he possibly can at Manchester City, and maybe it's time for the Argentinian to move on. If he does decide to move on, then we need to sort of bring in a world-class striker, because João Pedro, his backup, is 85 rated. Julian Alvarez, 93 rated. You are looking at someone who's a bit better. So it's the transfer targets. We've got a nice big list of options. Right back wise, we've got Ivan Fresneda, the 85 rated 24-year-old. I don't know whether he's too high rated for right back and to be back up to Jan Kuto, but he's certainly on my list of options as a player. We could bring in the man from Elche. 93 pace looks pretty good. We've got American Joe Scally here, Premier League experienced player, 86 pace, 79 dribbling, 75 physical. I think he's probably more suited to be a backup to Jan Kuto, considering he's not really high rated already. And Jan Kuto is going to be the first team player throughout. Joe Scally certainly a fullback that interests me. Amar Dedic is another one. Bosnia-Herzegovina fullback, 90 pace actually, which is a very rapid sort of player. Plays at right back for Lille in Ligue 1. He could certainly be an option for us. I think he seems like a very decent option to bring in at right back and to be an option as an attacking player for us and defensive player. We also have Mexican Julian Araujo, who impressed at Las Palmas, back at Barcelona from his loan. What I like about him, he's got high attacking and defensive work rate, 87 pace, good passing, good dribbling. Decent defending actually. His physical's not amazing, but he's actually quite decent for someone physical-wise for a 5'9" player. We also have Goncalo Estevez from Sporting, 81 rated. That's a decent rating as a backup, isn't he? 25 years of age. Again, good pace, decent physical, good defending. He's only 5'7" though, and I think I'm looking for someone who's a bit more of a different player to Jan Kuto. I don't want someone who's very much equal. As for left back, Alejandro Balde of Newcastle is certainly an option. I mean, He would come in and start ahead of Barco if you brought him in. Going to cost a lot of money, though, isn't the 25-year-old? A lot of money to bring him in. But, I mean, quality-wise, I don't think you get many better at left-back, do you? I think he is probably the best left-back there is out there. Sebastian Bortha from Romania, of Rapid. He's only 23 years of age. He's very, very young. He's got good pace, good passing, very good dribbling and defending. He's physical and shooting. I mean, shooting's pretty good for a fullback, and he's certainly someone that you look at and think, well, being 23, started career mode at about 17 years of age is an option. Ian Maatsen, who's at West Ham United, but a Premier League experienced player. He's played for Chelsea, played for West Ham, played for Borussia Dortmund. I think he's played for Rangers as well in this career mode. He's another one who's pretty good. He's physical and shooting, not fantastic, but his pace, his passing, his dribbling, his defending are very good. His defending maybe needs work on it. Centre-back wise, we've got plenty of options for centre-back. Castel Luqueba, a left footer, 85 rated. He certainly could be an option for the club. Certainly could be a very good option to come in at centre-back and do a job for us. Maybe we don't want somebody who starts ahead of Doyle. I think maybe we need a right footer that can start with either Doyle or Gohi and partner either one of those. And maybe a left footer isn't the right one. But left footer wise, we've got Luqueba. We've got Hinsapi as well, who's a good physical player, the Ecuadorian. We are looking for a more experienced defender, I think. And he sort of fits the bill. The man from Olympique Marseille. Do we go for a sort of a very big rated player? That is something we need to look at. Jules Koundé of Bayer Leverkusen. He seems like a really, really good option. I mean, look at that pace, look at that defending, look at that physical. You look at him and say, you know what? He seems like a spectacular option, really, in terms of coming in, can play on the left-hand side, can play on the right-hand side, can partner Goyi, can partner Callum Doyle. The same goes for Julian Araujo, but he is playing for rivals in the Premier League, Arsenal, which means it's sort of going to be a difficult deal to sort of agree this one for Julian Araujo. And it might be a deal that we can't sort of get over the line, can make happen because of that, because he's playing for Arsenal, but he's certainly one you look at and think, wow, yeah. The same goes for Matthias de Ligt. I have got some reservations of de Ligt due to his pace. 74 pace makes me think, you know what, maybe he's sort of a Ruben Diaz style player, and Ruben Diaz really didn't work out for us in this career mode because of his pace, because of that quality in terms of defensive areas, so we decided against it. And we've got some sort of younger players that maybe aren't the right option, but maybe if you want to spend a little bit less money on a defender, but I mean, we're looking for an upgrade, a massive upgrade in defence. So we've got Kaique Wolfsburg, who I'm not exactly sold on, at 80 rated. The same for Lenny Yoro of Milan. I think we need something better, don't we? But he's young. I think we need a more experienced, high-rated centre-back, really, looking at these positions. Zeno Zabast as well, or Debast. He's another option. I mean, defensive, he's very much an all-rounder, Debast. But again, pace, only 81 rated, maybe isn't the option. And then for midfield, Archie Gray is a real all-rounder. I think could play in the whole midfield, can play in the attacking midfield role. 82 rated, started his career mode at 17 years of age. Has left Leeds and gone to Serie A to play for Fiorentina. Desiree Doué, he looks a really good option, 92 pace. As we look to revamp the midfield, he could be a really good option, very, very skillful. Maybe he's the replacement for Ebichere Eze in that central midfield role. He looks really good, the Frenchman, only 24 years of age, lots of development in him. Striker-wise, we've got Ben Seguir, 85 rated. If Alvarez was to leave, the 24-year-old could come in, but he's the same rating thereabouts as João Pedro, and we are looking for someone maybe bigger and maybe better in that situation, in that area, if we can do. Yusuf Makoko seems like more of the right option to replace Alvarez. 24 years of age, the German. He played well for Ilkay Gundogan in the World Cup. If you watch the Members Series, if you're not watching it, go and watch it, because Yusuf Makoko is a World Cup player for Ilkay Gundogan. He was fantastic for us. And maybe a bit of a wildcard option, 97 rated Erling Haaland. Could we possibly bring back the Norwegian to Manchester City? Well, it's certainly not entirely ruled out. But imagine the sort of money. Maybe Alvarez in a swap deal, I'm not exactly sure. Haaland back to City could be. Well, massive news in terms of departures. John Stones apparently is set to leave Manchester City after 13 years with the club. Apparently a move to Italy is on the cards for the Barnsley Beckenbauer, the English Maldini. But he has been at Manchester City for many years now. He's been fantastic for us. 13 plus years serves the club. But apparently a move away is set to happen this summer. Well, Kane Taylor's agreed to move away from the club to Rangers for $5 million. A player who's developed well on loan, but not enough to be a Manchester City player. Well, John Stones isn't the only, big choice centre-back. His partner at the back, Joško Vardiel, apparently is ready to force a move away from Man City this summer. Vardiel isn't happy, and he wants to leave the club. His head has been turned by a supposed Real Madrid. And Joško Vardiol wants to leave Manchester City. He's been at the club plenty of years now, many years, 6 years at the club. And he said his time is up, 6 years enough, and he wants to leave, move to Spain with Real Madrid. So it's looking like he could force a move. That'll be a big miss for us, and that is our defensive partnership being demolished. Another departure is John Stones joining Inter Milan for just under 33 million. Great servants to the club, 35 years of age now, moves away with 1 year left on his deal to Italy, where he can continue his playing time as a player, and I think he'll do a really good job there. Well, second choice goalkeeper under Roberto De Zerbi was Spike Brits, and apparently Ilkay Gundogan doesn't consider him good enough to be the second choice goalkeeper, and Spike Brits is set for a permanent move away from Manchester City, a young goalkeeper who has got big hopes for his career, and it's not quite worked out for Spike Brits for whatever reason. He's not developed to the rapid rate that we expected, with Ederson still the number one, so we are looking for a better player to sort of be the man to back up Ederson, and City is showing interest in a goalkeeper in Alvaro Valles of Everton. Former Las Palmas man, plays for Everton now in the Premier League, looking to come in and be second choice goalkeeper for Ilkay Gundogan's side. A goalkeeper as a Spaniard, very good with his feet, a very good shot stopper as well, and seems to be the right man to come and push Ederson for that number one spot in goal. Well, first official departure in Ilkay Gundogan's era at Manchester City, Spike Brits, 2.5 million to Watford. He moves on away from the club, which is a shame that he didn't really make it as a goalkeeper, but just looking to make a bit of profit, and he was a very good prospect, just didn't really work out. Well, more news on Joško Vardiol. Apparently a move to Real Madrid is getting closer for the Croatian defender after a fee is agreed. Now, City are going to be looking for surely 80+ million. They're looking for their money back on Vardiol, who's only got 1 year left in his contract. He won't sign a new deal. City now are desperate to sell him and make sure they make some profit on or make some money, at least get some money back on a very good defender. One of the world's best defenders, formed a fantastic partnership with John Stones. Both players set to leave the club, leaving the club, and that's a big shame for Vardiol that his City career ends like this, but it's going to. Well, arriving at Manchester City was a new man for Ilkay Gundogan and a new second-choice goalkeeper in Everton's Alvaro Valles, played for Villarreal and a top-quality goalkeeper. Well, Geronimo Rulli will become third choice, Ederson will become, obviously, stay for first choice, and Alvaro Valles will be our new second-choice goalkeeper at the club. Alvaro Valles from Everton to Manchester City, an £8 billion deal agreed for the Spaniard. Played really well at Las Palmas, one of the top goalkeepers in the Liga a few seasons ago, an A rating. And Ilkay Gundogan makes a new signing in a goalkeeper. Ilkay Gundogan looking to make the midfield, younger and also revamp it a little bit. And former Leeds United wonder kid Archie Gray, currently playing for Fiorentina, is wanted by Manchester City and high up on Ilkay Gundogan's list of midfield reinforcements. The young player is certainly a player that's caught Gundogan's eye. One away, Joško Vardiol, who wanted to leave the club, does get a big move to Real Madrid, a £97.3 million move, the most the club possibly could get because he is our contract and he won't sign a new deal. Been a good servant for the club, been a very good centre-back, didn't want to lose him, but have lost him. Joško Vardiol leaves Manchester City. Well, after not enough first-team football, Liam Delap has decided he is going to expect it to leave Manchester City this summer, with Ilkay Gundogan looking to reinforce the striker area. Liam Delap is not going to be our second-choice striker, and he looks to move on away from the club under Gundogan. Well, the first game of 3 season, Ilkay Gundogan's side came away with a 3-2 defeat to Napoli. Goals from Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia with a double actually for Napoli. It was Doku and Alvarez on the score sheet for us, but City don't find the win. Well, this transfer news is a bit of a disappointment. Apparently teams in Spain showing a strong interest in Oscar Bob. For whatever reason, his development has just never worked out at Manchester City, which is really frustrating because at the start of his career mode, he looked like a super talent. But as the years gone by, injury issues have hampered him massively, and now it looks like he's set to leave City after not finding first-team football at the club. Ilkay Gundogan brought in a new midfielder in former Leeds United man and very highly rated youngster Archie Gray from Fiorentina. Gray had a deal agreed with Fiorentina, which included Maximo Pirone going the other way. Pirone just not quite developed to the level we want from him. So Archie Gray will come in as a new midfielder with him going the other way. Archie Gray from Fiorentina, £7.5 million plus Maximo Pirone, brings in a very young and highly rated English midfielder, only a C rating for paying £7.5 million plus Maximo Pirone. But I think that's a good price for Archie Gray. I'm happy with that deal. And I think a strong negotiation sales could have saved us, what, £4.8 million. That is fine. He's a real all-rounder. 74 physical, 77 defending, 85 dribbling, 80 passing, 79 shooting, 79 pace, everything in the plus 70s. That is a really, really good footballer. Well, for Fresneda, the club will only sell him if you activate his £66 million release clause. We don't need to spend that on a fullback. The same goes for Goncalo Estevez, who again, release clause the only way to get him 45 million, certainly not going to be activating that. I think Dedic at up to 45 million is not the sort of money we're looking to spend on a fullback either. But that narrowed it down to Julian Araujo and Joe Scally. And I decided, I think, that we're going to go for the American Joe Scally, who used to play for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Premier League experienced player and a decent backup. More so than Araujo. He's a little bit smaller, might not just have the physicality we want from a player. Whereas Scally has got everything you want. Not as good as a passer, but I think better all round otherwise. Lindelof makes a permanent move away from the club. A £38 million move to Fiorentina. He leaves the club and he joins Serie A. Well, I'm sure he'll impress in a £38 million move. That is a good deal for us and a good move for the lad in the future of his career. Well, competition for Jan Kuto at right back is something İlkay Gundogan is looking to improve upon, and Man City have agreed a fee with Crystal Palace for US men's national team fullback Joe Scally as a new right back in our defence. Well, pre-season weren't going well for İlkay Gundogan because another defeat, this time to Mumbai City, a 1-0 win by them against Manchester City. Not started well in pre-season, but it's about the competitive games that matter. And İlkay Gundogan's side bring in Joe Scally from Crystal Palace, an American who is an experienced Premier League player. Very good sign for the club. Crystal Palace, Manchester City for $14.5 million. I think that's a very good signing, a very good money for the American who'll come in and back up Jan Kuto in that right back position and give Jan Kuto a rest when he needs it. Well, left back was decided to be Sebastian Bortha. He was the man decided to sign a Romanian fullback who's developed really well in his time away. Sebastian Bortha from Rapid 1923. We had to activate his £28 million release clause, which the club found was the right thing to do. They didn't like the bad negotiations. They F their sign a player of a different nationality. But this man, 89 pace, 80 dribbling, good defending, physical, passing and shooting as well. A 23, certainly one you can develop as a player. Very young, and I'm happy to bring that one. I know it's an F rating, but at 28 million, I thought that was a good deal, considering where he is as a player, and the release clause was the only way to sign him. Well, apparently İlkay Gundogan is looking to finalise a deal to sign his favourite talent, a player that played for him at Schalke. He then took with him to AS Monaco, and now it looks like he's going to take him to Manchester City, as well as using him in the German national team. It is Hasan Odraogo. İlkay Gundogan has basically seen his full development and wants to continue seeing that development. The final game of pre-season, City come away with a 2-0 win over Real Sociedad, and a double from Echeverri from the midfield. I managed to bring in a player that İlkay Gundogan has overseen his full career playing for the German national team, for Schalke where he started his development, and taking him to AS Monaco. It is Hasan Odraogo. He joins Manchester City in a not that big of a move, actually. Hasan Odraogo. He moves to Manchester City in a move that costs us $25.5 million. A cheap deal for a young midfielder, really developing, really continuing to improve as a footballer. Very exciting, very powerful. He's been so good in İlkay Gundogan in the years gone by as he's managed different teams. He's taken Odraogo with him, and he's taking him with him again to this time to Manchester City. Good physical, good dribbling, decent passing, decent shooting, good pace. He is going to be a top player in this side. Official departure was Oscar Bob. Unfortunately, did not make it at Manchester City, and he makes a £25 million move to Atletico Madrid, where he'll go and play there for a Spanish giant and hopefully continue development. 25 years of age, only 79 rated. Unfortunately, just didn't work out for him. We're going to end the episode here with a big game against Arsenal. This is the side Arsenal go with in the Community Shield. Ramsdale starts to go. It's 1 fight. Araujo, Reyes and Nuno Mendes the back 4. Odegaard the captain, Sambi Lokonga and Damar in the midfield 3. It's Saka, Ribeiro and Martinelli the front 3. On the bench, Kai Havertz, Marquinhos, Reece Nelson, Mika, Hooper, Sousa and Hayes. The key players for Mikel Arteta's side are Araujo in the centre-back position and Bukayo Saka in that right-hand side position. Well, surprisingly, they've got quite a few tired legs. So missing out today is Jan Kuto, Valentin Barco, Doku, Musiala, Lewis, Eze, Rulli and Ederson. On the bench, we've got Yamal Baptiste, Max Alain, Archie Gray, Odraogo, Echeverri, Lawrence and Julian Alvarez. It is Valles who starts in goal for his debut with Joe Scally, Mark Gohi, Callum Doyle and both at the back 4. Redondo, captain Phil Foden and Mateus Nunes in the midfield 3. With João Pedro at striker, Savio on the right and Joe Ndala off the left. Well, it's at Wembley Stadium. Debut for İlkay Gundogan as Manchester City manager. Big game here against Arsenal at Wembley. His first competitive game, even though he could say it's a glorified friendly in the Community Shield. And a chance for Gundogan's side to really set on a marker on what he expects to achieve. He's won the league title or won a trophy in every single game of his career. Every single season anyway. Not every game, that would be unbelievable. Gundogan versus Arteta. Former coach versus his former player. It's live here from Wembley Stadium. The fullback. Saka takes to the byline. Callum Doyle's in on him. Foot in, can't keep it. Ribeiro. Chance from range and Valles. Double-handed save by Valles to put it in from Nuno Mendes for a corner. Good start for Arsenal. Ødegaard in. Saka there. Blocked by Callum Doyle. Well, no Joshua Gvardiol. Goyi and Doyle look like they could be the defensive partnership unless Ilkay Gundogan decides to spend the big bucks. Great switch by the Brazilian to Joe Scally. Into the middle here. Here's Savio. Through to João Pedro, and Araujo just takes it off his toes there. And Scally goes back to cross to Callum Doyle. That was a good chance. Redondo. Matheus Nunes. Pressure on him. Matheus Nunes keeps it well here. To Savio. Savio! Ramsdale makes the save. Savio should score. Could I have squared that to João Pedro? Could I have squared that to João Pedro, maybe? To Scally. Bad pass. Intercepted. Martinelli quick. Goyi with him. Pass Mark Goyi. Martinelli pulls it back. Mark Goyi's there. He's lost it. Joe Scally's still there. Back to Alvaro Valles and away. And well done, City. Play out of that one. Bullseye. On to Ndala, who's got so much space here. Joel Ndala. Ronald Araujo with him. Ndala inside. Ndala taken down, referee. Redondo back forward anyway to Matheus Nunes. Ndala's picked up an injury, unfortunately. Redondo. Goyi. Redondo again. Wide into Phil Foden. Savio makes a nice run narrow. Savio. Savio tries to bend one. And he drags it wide, does Savio. That's a shame. Redondo has picked up an injury here. Federico Redondo. Phil Foden. Savio's gone. Foden finds him. Here's Savio, the Brazilian onside here. Savio. It's João Pedro. Good save from Aaron Ramsdale on the shot from João Pedro. Corner ball. Saka. Intercepted by Nunes. Again, it falls to Ødegaard. Back through to Saka. Balls are with him. Saka off the post. What a strike by Bukayo Saka. Well for City. Savio keeps his run going. Doyle wide to Matheus Nunes. Back to the fullback Borsa. Doyle. Redondo. Federico Redondo was looking for that ball. Maybe to the fullback. No one really made the run. Callum Doyle. Matheus Nunes. Got options. Walter's one of them. Here's the fullback off again. Walter. Savio on the left foot. Right down the middle of Aaron Ramsdale by Savio. Nuno Mendes inside. Savio chases. Nuno Mendes. Great burst from him. The young Archie Gray with a chance. Goyi. What a challenge by Mark Goyi. Forward. And here is Echivere. He's off here. Echivere. Echivere! Oh! Deflects. Behind for a corner. Foden on it. Swung in. João Pedro with a big header. And a save by Aaron Ramsdale. Brilliant. Savio. Matheus Nunes. Doyle. Archie Gray dispossessed. Big challenge on Archie Gray. Referee gives a free kick. In a top quality position for Phil Foden here. Well, Foden, this is amazing position. Is it too close? Can he get it up and over the wall? Phil Foden into the wall. Away by Kai Havertz. Saka. Goyi, great by Mark Goyi, who says, do not replace me. Do not sign another centre-back. Foden, Matheus Nunes. Pulled it across here, blocked away. Back out to Foden. Scally centrally. Scally. Both are the fullback. The far post here. Savio with a header! Oh, it's not Savio, it's João Pedro. 1-0 City in the Charity Shield. And it is João Pedro with a goal. Brilliant finish by the Brazilian to give City the lead. Brilliant finish. Balls are over the top. And João Pedro, thumping header into that bottom corner by the Brazilian. Manchester City take the lead against Arsenal deservedly. Really nice header by João Pedro. First goal of the season scored by the Brazilian. And we're going to make more changes now. Borza off for Elaine, who can play at fullback. Well done, Baptiste. And he's signed again by Ilkay Gundogan for the third time. Doyle, what a ball. Elaine. Chance for Echivere here. Echivere. Echivere down in the box here. Taken down by Lokonga. Couldn't stop him. It's a red card for Samuel Lokonga. The Arsenal players complain. At least 3 Echivere. And he comes right for the back of him. Wow. Horrible challenge by Lokonga. Reyes is off. It's a free kick only. Well, I'm sure that was in the box. Anyone who's got better free kicks, don't think they've got better than Phil Foden. Can Foden get this one up and over the wall? Foden into the wall again by Phil Foden. Back to him on the rebound. Blocked away. Ball in by Arsenal. Valles comes and does what he needs to do there. Good goalkeeping. Claudio Echivere. Echivere runs. Echivere plays Foden through the middle here. Trouble for Arsenal is Phil Foden. Foden for City to kill this game off. Phil Foden! 2-0 Manchester City against the 10 men of Arsenal. And Ilkay Gundogan's going to lift his first trophy as a Manchester City manager in his first competitive game. Great goal from Phil Foden. The Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League, the Premier League to play for this season. When the Community Shield, Foden scores for City and Ilkay Gundogan's side. And we lead by 2-0. Brilliant. João Pedro and Phil Foden on the score sheet. Foden will go straight centre here. Savio. To João Pedro. Odrogo on his debut. Odrogo on his debut! 3-0 off the bench for a goal on his debut for Hassan Odrogo. 3-0 City in the Community Shield. Ilkay Gundogan's side have smashed Arsenal. 10 men's made a big difference here. Defects very fortunately to Odrogo, who's definitely worked on his finishing over the years. And that's a great finish into the bottom corner. 3-0 Manchester City. 3-0. Big goal, big result this could be. Gohi. Foden. Here's new man Archie Gray. Through the middle to João Pedro. And João Pedro off the crossbar by João Pedro. Sets it and puts it over the bar. Onto the bar and over. Long by Aaron Ramsdale. Yamal Baptiste is there. Full-time whistle goes. Ilkay Gundogan's Manchester City win by 3-0. And here is the Community Shield lift for Manchester City to be lifted by captain Phil Foden. Up steps the players. Echivere played well off the left. Maybe we play him as a left-hand sided player this season rather than through the middle. Maybe Ndal doesn't play so much football. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do things. But there we go. Manchester City, our Charity Shield winners. Gundogan's first trophy in charge. And it's lifted by Phil Foden, the captain for this season. Congratulations to Manchester City. It's not a major trophy, but it's one you take at the start of the season. And it's a good marker set down to, listen, we've just beat Arsenal 3-0. We're a top side still, even after, you know, the Pep Guardiola era is long gone. Well, this is actually massive news come the end of the episode. In a surprising twist, rumours circulate around Norwegian sensation Erling Haaland contemplated departure from Real Madrid after 4 triumphant years at the club. Speculation hints at a sensational return to his former club, Manchester City. The potential move adds an unexpected chapter to Erling Haaland's already remarkable career, stirring excitement amongst football enthusiasts eager to witness the star striker's next career move. Well, apparently Haaland is finished at Real Madrid. He's been very, very good there, of course. He moved from Manchester City 4 years ago now. But with former captain, former teammate Ilkay Gundogan, now a manager managing Manchester City, Erling Haaland could be interested with a move back to Manchester City. And Ilkay Gundogan could be interested in bringing Erling Haaland back to Manchester City himself and being the star man for his season at the Etihad. This could be an incredible reunion between Erling Haaland and Ilkay Gundogan and Manchester City. Is this a move that we could see in this series? Well, what a return that might be here at the club. That would be so exciting. Well, before we end the episode, an update on the injuries. Joel Ndal has picked up a broken toe, which will mean he's out for 3 months. And Federico Redondo's picked up a sprained knee, out for 4 weeks. 2 big players missing at the start of the season. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do like the video if you haven't already. Please join the channel if you want to see the Ilkay Gundogan season and see how he got to this point as a manager in his managerial career. Like the video if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.